On march the banners of the King of Hell, my master said. Toward us, look straight ahead. Can you make him out at the core of the frozen shell? Like a whirling windmill seen afar at twilight, or when a mist has risen from the ground, just such an engine rose upon my sight, stirring up such a wild and bitter wind. I cowered for shelter at my master's back, there being no other windbreak I could find. I stood now where the souls of the last class, with fear my verses tell it, were covered wholly. They shone below the ice like straws in glass. Some lie stretched out, others are fixed in place upright, some on their heads, some on their souls. Another, like a bow, bends foot to face. When we had gone so far across the ice that it pleased my guide to show me the foul creature which once had worn the grace of paradise, he made me stop, and, stepping aside, he said, Now see the face of Dis. This is a place where you must arm your soul against all dread. Do not ask, reader, how my blood ran cold and my voice choked up with fear. I cannot write it. This is a terror that cannot be told. I did not die, and yet I lost life's breath. Imagine for yourself what I became, deprived at once of both my life and death. The Emperor of the universe of pain jutted his upper chest above the ice, and I am closer in size to the great mountain the Titans make around the central pit than they to his arms. Now, starting from this part, imagine the whole that corresponds to it. If he was once as beautiful as now he is hideous, and still turned on his Maker, well may he be the source of every woe. With what a sense of awe I saw his head towering above me, for it had 3 faces. One was in front, and it was fiery red. The other 2, as weirdly wonderful, merged with it from the middle of each shoulder to the point where all converged at the top of the skull. The right was something between white and bile. The left was about the color that one finds on those who live along the banks of the Nile. Under each head 2 wings rose terribly, their span proportioned to so gross a bird. I never saw such sails upon the sea. They were not feathers, their texture and their form were like a bat's wings, and he beat them so that 3 winds blew from him in one great storm. It is these winds that freeze all Cocytus. He wept from his 6 eyes, and down 3 chins the tears ran mixed with bloody froth and pus. In every mouth he worked a broken sinner between his rake-like teeth. Thus he kept 3 in eternal pain at his eternal dinner. For the one in front, the biting seemed to play no part at all compared to the ripping. At times the whole skin of his back was flayed away. That soul that suffers most, explained my guide, is Judas Iscariot, he who kicks his legs on the fiery chin and has his head inside. Of the other 2, who have their heads thrust forward, the one who dangles down from the black face is Brutus. Note how he writhes without a word. And there, with the huge and sinewy arms, is the soul of Cassius. But the night is coming on, and we must go, for we have seen the whole. On march the banners of the King of Hell, my master said. Toward us, look straight ahead. Can you make him out at the core of the frozen shell?
Powered by Video.